Okay, it is my first time using Zoom. I think it would be better to listen to the seminar with the PPT screen bigger than my face. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Sung Jae-hoon, worked at RDA. RDA stands for Rural Development Administration. Professor Chung Yong-che recommended me this seminar. Thank you, Professor Chung. I am honored to have a special experience of online seminar. The topic I'm going to talk to you today is agriculture needs ICT. First, I will introduce my country's agricultural status. Next, I will explain, wait a sec, okay. First, I will introduce my country's agricultural status. Next, I will explain the need for advanced engineering to solve the difficult agricultural situation. Next, I will explain the main topic of today's seminar, autonomous greenhouse challenge. Finally, let me tell you why I decided to do this seminar. Let me introduce myself to you because I think listening to my resume will help you understanding the content of the seminar. I majored in agricultural machinery at the College of Agriculture. In my master's course, I wrote a paper called Detection and Classification of Apple Defect by Color Computer Vision. In the agricultural product packing house, I made a program to grade apples passing by on a conveyor belt by reading them with a CCD camera. That was in the early 1990s. At the time, all the programs had to be coded directly from those commands because it was before Windows came out. Yeah. In my PhD course, I wrote a paper called Developing Diagnosis of Stress of Cucumber using Non-Destructive Sensors. When growing cucumber by hydroponic cultivation, it is about developing a diagnostic method to detect growth stresses earlier than humans can identify. Wait a sec. Yeah. Since then, I've joined the RDA as a researcher and have been researching the health status of crops for more than 20 years. I'm working in the division of smart farm development these days. Have you heard about the smart farm? It is literally a smart way to operating a farm. I will explain it in detail in a little while. Wait a sec. Yeah. Current status of agriculture. Yeah. What comes to your mind when you think of agriculture? Rice in the fields, home-cooked meal and meat, a tractor working in a field? You will be able to see various images. The actual agricultural sector is very wide. What is the value of agriculture? According to the study, the value of agriculture is 281 trillion won, about $250 billion. It is roughly more than half of our country's budget. What I want to say is the value of maintaining agriculture is so great. The population of Korea is a little over 50 million. How many of them are engaged in agriculture? Approximately, what percent is it? It is 4.3%. As you can see in the table, the population of farming households is steadily decreasing. The problem is that all those farmers are old. The average age of our country is 42 years old, but the average age of people working in agriculture is 68 years old. In addition, the proportion of people aged 65 or elder is just 13% for the general public, with 42.5% for farmers. What I want to say is that farmers are very old. Also, in society, more and more households are living alone, and the market for convenience food has grown. In addition, due to the climate changing and global warming, the cultivation area of major crops are gradually moving northward. In this picture, gray color represents the main origin of the fruit in the 1980s. For example, if you look at the apples, you can see that Daegu was the main producer in the 1980s, but now Pyeongchang and Pocheon, which are colored, are the main producer. So the good areas for growing fruit are gradually going up north. Maybe 50 years later, there will be no profit and no fruit that can be grown in South area, maybe. In addition, the FTA has opened the global market. There are 239 countries in the world. In terms of land area, my country is 109th in the world. But in terms of economic territory, my country ranks the third of the world. What I am saying is that there's no national boundary in agricultural trading. Agriculture of post-COVID-19. This day, we are experiencing various difficulties due to the pandemic of corona. We cannot go out, we cannot meet our plants, and we have classes online like this. I think our society will change a lot after corona steps down. Let's see. Wait a sec. Let's see an expert interview how the coronavirus will affect agriculture. Okay.
Good afternoon. Yes, no, it's a global pandemic, if we can call it that. The impacts are immense, however, it's not quantifiable at this stage. The unexpected and alarming spread of this virus has sparked fears of a global economic slowdown. South African agriculture exports about 25 commodities globally, which amounts to more than 10 million American dollars annually. And a quarter of that we export to Asia. So just to put that in perspective, but the World Health Organization also declared that this virus as a global pandemic, resulting in governments around the world to strengthen their containment measures. Yes.
All right. So, Ms. Kamfer,
Good place.
All right. So that's on the South African side, but there's not much you can do once it's on ships and on air freight on the other side.
Now, well, yeah, it's with labor also now affecting access to markets. People are not working; they are in their houses. What we can do is we can export it there to the countries, and then yeah, it's going to lie in the.
Okay, next. Let's see one more short video. The video showed the impact of coronavirus on the world's agriculture, food, and economy. Wait a sec. After Corona steps down, non-face-to-face situation will become common in our lives. It will be more natural to buy agricultural product without going to the market. With the non-face-to-face trend, I expect agriculture to rapidly shift to digital. Yeah. The agricultural-friendly post-industrial revolution will expand the scope of agriculture in various fields, such as culture, welfare, and healing. As shown in this picture, the post-industrial revolution will lead to a great amount of independent cultivation through cultural activities, such as combining agriculture with games and leisure, human welfare agriculture in the age of aging, and agricultural activities with plants and animals. The expansion of agriculture though the post-industrial revolution is expected to vary greatly in the field of production, distribution, and consumption. Yeah. Future farmer will work like this. No, some farmers in the US still work like this. Okay. The farmer wakes up in the morning and logs in the computer with a cup of coffee.
Welcome to John Deere Farm Site.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to John Deere Farm Site.
On a computer connected to a consulting server, the curve is automatically recognized when placed in a fixed location.
Field order. Please prioritize. Work order confirmed.
The farmer changes the order to the work and simulate it, and it shows that the field needs irrigation.
Alert. Irrigation. Irrigation system initiated.
So the farmer make irrigation plans, remotely operate the sprinkler, and spray water over the fields. For your information, American fields are not square, but round. The land is very large, so there is farmer's field where sprinklers can sprinkle water at a round shape.
Incoming call.
Hi, Jerry. We're finishing up your planter service. We'll be ready today. Thanks, Sean. I really appreciate it. You got it.
Alert. Weather. Alert. Weather. Files sent. Alert. Row crop tractor 14 has stopped. Message. Dealer technician ETA 32 minutes.
The American field is so large, so when you drive one tractor, the other tractors follows a certain patterns and works without the driver. The tractor driver's screen has just been altered that the 14 tractors has stopped. At the same time, the warning goes to the consultant and the technician comes in 30 minutes to fix the tractor. The farmer takes the picture of corn leaves with his cell phone. The picture is sent to the cloud server to diagnose the status of grass in real time and send the result to farmer. Fortunately, the crops are growing well. Yeah, next. The post-industrial revolution. Yeah. Since the Davos Forum in January 2016, the term post-industrial revolution has been deeply embedded in our lives. Agriculture is not exception. The post-technology is driving changes in all areas, including agricultural production, distribution, and consumption. The RDA where I work is making various effects to apply. The RDA where I work is making various effects to apply the post-industrial revolution technology to the agricultural sector. We prepare a link to the production and deployment of data, data management, and data utilization. Yeah. And in addition, my government is pushing for research that combines various technologies from the post-industrial revolution into the agricultural sector. AI, CPS, and cloud technology are used for production, distribution, and farmers' healthcare. Robot autonomous driving are being studied to be used for automatic production. Big data is used to increase the reliability of farmers and consumers. The IoT you learn at college is used as a key technology for collecting the sharing information. There is a smart farm that applies these various technologies to agriculture. That is, a smart farm is an intelligent agricultural system that incorporates information communication technology into the production, processing, and the distribution stage of agricultural products. By using technologies such as IoT, big data, and AI, the growth environment of crops can be probably managed and automatically managed remotely with cell phone, not only increasing productivity, but also increasing convenience of farmers. This slide shows the scope of smart farm. Smart technologies have been applied to various fields. For example, agricultural infrastructure, protected horticulture, and livestock. Smart farm technologies covers a wide range from production, distribution, and up to consumption of agricultural products. At the end, smart farm links to the improvement of rural life. In order to overcome the limitation of small-size farmlands and secure the global competitiveness of Korean agriculture, technology-intensive farms can be a good way as the next generation of smart agricultural production system. Therefore, this is the time to converge smart technologies of the future of agriculture. Let's hear an interview of farmer. This is a story about the need of smart farm.
스마트팜은 이게 되냐 안 되냐, 기존 산업이나 경쟁력이 있냐 없냐를 판단하는 시기는 이미 지났다고 보고요. 저희는 IoT 기반의 모듈형 스마트팜이라는 기술을 가지고 신선 제조들을 전 세계 모든 사람들이 즐길 수 있는 그런 세상을 만들어 나가고 있습니다. 컨테이너를 각각 이제 모듈화를 해서 쫙 붙이고 그 안에 이제 작업을 할 수 있는 작업동도 두고 분류지도 두고 그다음에 출고할 수 있는 그런 출고동도 두고 사람이 출입할 때 강제 다 할 수 있게 강제력도 주고 그걸 연결해가지고 하나의 대규모 사이트를 만들 수 있는 각각의 개별 모듈. 농업이라는 산업은 원래는 불확실성이 굉장히 큰 산업이잖아요. 그러니까 이걸 내가 마음에 드는 상품을 만드는 게 안정적인 맛으로 균일하게 공급하는 게 어려워요. 상추 같은 거를 우리나라에 판매하려면 앞에 5분 단수만 돼가지고 얘는 거래를 해요. 근데 중국 같은 더운 나라들은 사실상처럼 유통하는 거 자체에서 비용이 너무 많이 들어가지고 그 다음에 퀄리티 자체가 너무 낮아져요. 그래서 자체적으로 생산을 할 수 있는 방법이 없을까 자국내에 생각하고 싶은데 솔루션이 생긴 거죠.
네. 24. The RDA, where I work, is already developing various smart farm technologies. Let's see the video together.
The agriculture industry is one of the sectors in South Korea currently benefiting from AI technology. Local farms have recently increased yield efficiency on the back of AI, and the government hinted at a future installment of the new tech into its farms nationwide. Our Cho Sang-min has the story.
This is one of the smart farms growing tomatoes in Jeollabuk-do province. At the push of a button, a gigantic shading net rolls out and covers the ceiling to control the temperature. The area's humidity is manipulated by a ventilator, also on the farm owner's command. This technology is representative of modern smart farms in South Korea. What separates this smart facility from other tech-reliant farms, however, is that the owner has recently decided to make the best out of AI technology to increase the plant yield. The newly applied AI can collect and analyze big data to find the optimal conditions for tomatoes to grow according to the current growth phase of each individual plant. The owner says the AI has raised the tomato yield by nearly 80%.
AI has made farming so much more convenient. I can easily access it at all times, even when I'm overseas on a trip.
The AI reduced total labor hours down to an hour and a half, less than half the time he previously had spent working each day. What's more, heating costs have been cut by more than 40%. Government officials have also highlighted these results and vowed to help more farms install the tech.
The farming population is continuing to decline and young people are unwilling to join the industry as farming is very labor intensive and demanding. But the new agricultural sector will be different.
The Rural Development Administration says it plans to expand the application of the new AI developments into smart farms for strawberries and bell peppers. Cho Sang-min, Arirang News.
The RDA, as I told you, RDA is my work. If we use smart farm technology, we can do farming in cities.
Urban smart farms have been popping up all over Seoul, even in the most unlikely places like subway stations. Kim Bo-kyung gets us better acquainted with a metro farm.
There is something curious happening at a Seoul metro station, where you can see an indoor vertical farm. The Seoul Metropolitan Government and Farm 8, an agriculture firm, recently opened the first metro farm in South Korea at Sangdo Station on Seoul Subway Line 7. They are promoting this metro farm as a way to effectively utilize unused spaces and carry out urban farming.
Tangdo Metro Farm is an urban smart farm which uses information and communication technology to control the farm's conditions, making it easier to grow crops.
Exotic vegetable breeds are cultivated with the help of an automated system which manages temperature, humidity, acidity, and provides them with nutrients. It also allows partial access to people passing by and a viewing window where they can look at how smart farms operate, while also providing clean air.
If we conduct smart farming in metro stations, plants can use carbon dioxide, which people breathe out, for photosynthesis, and people can breathe in the oxygen that plants produce.
There's also a facility called Auto Farm in which a robot manages the entire farming process. This container-sized indoor farm cultivates young leaves for harvest when they are fully grown. People can enjoy the vegetables that are harvested from these facilities at a cafe located right next to the farms in the form of salads and juices.
I came in here for the first time after just passing by for several days. I think it is very nice that it provides us with oxygen and fresh vegetables within a city.
Another urban smart farm has also opened at Tapsimli Station, and they will open in 3 other subway locations, including Chungjeonglo Station within this year. The city government and Farm8 are looking forward to creating more urban smart farms in the long term, so that people can enjoy crops at lower prices and become more aware of the latest in agricultural technology. Kim Bo-kyung, Arirang News.
Yeah. Autonomous greenhouse challenge. Yeah, you know the word challenge. In my thought, the challenge is to set a slightly higher goal than now and work together to achieve that goal. Recently, there was an interesting challenge in agriculture. Today, I will introduce you to the challenge that I will draw attention to the agriculture sector. The slide I'm showing you now is none of mine. This is a video of Professor Seo Hyun-kwon of Donga University at Daejeon MBC a few months ago. Professor Seo Hyun-kwon is the team leader of the Korean Digilog team, which participates in the ongoing second autonomous greenhouse challenge. I will explain the video clip of introducing the autonomous greenhouse challenge in several parts. Between human and AI, who will grow better crops? Anyone interested in AI can have this question. As you know, the Netherlands is the country with the most advanced horticultural industry in the world. There are various technologies in horticulture, and many parts are automated. But an important strategy must be decided by a human. For example, after a month of planting, what temperature should we set? When crops begin to bear fruit, humans should decide what nutrient to supplement. When should we harvest the crop? Most people think that the crops are almost ripe, but you should not do that to make money. Market trend should be analyzed to determine when the crops are harvested. Agriculture is a kind of industry, so it is important to make a profit. It is the most important factor. So, how much profit will we make? We need more variables than we think to make these judgments. Even if the market price is low, will we harvest it now and put it on the market? Are we going to harvest and store it now and put it on the market when the price is high? How much does it cost to storage them? These various variables are considered to determine the timing of the harvest, all of which are human. When do we have to harvest to make the most money? What happens if AI decided the harvest time instead of people? This is the basic question that created the autonomous greenhouse challenge. How does AI establish a cultivation strategy to grow crops? Can we operate a greenhouse without human and completely unmanned it? Can AI make better judgment than humans? A Netherlands professor created an autonomous greenhouse challenge to find answers to these questions, and 5 teams participated in 2018. Microsoft, Intel, Tencent, and others, which are information and communication companies that we know well, participated. Not only are the 5 AI teams, but also the human experts who are the best farmers competing. So a total of 6 teams competed, including 5 AI teams and 1 human veteran farmer. This competition was about growing cucumber. They competed in a research greenhouse at the University of Wageningen in the Netherlands. They used a greenhouse attached together to minimize the difference in weather between them. The size of the greenhouse is approximately 10 meters wide and 10 meters long, 10 by 10 meters. The final evaluation of competition is determined by cropping for 4 months, which are profit, strategy, and sustainability factors. Profit is the most factors. Profit comes from selling cucumbers to the market, and the evaluator checked a strategy to decide when to sell them to the market. AI is a strategy that creates the best environment for growing crops, and it measures the environment of greenhouses and the state of crops growth to see what prescriptions have been given. Finally, efficient use of the resources. Evaluators determine the input energy, such as how much electricity they used to heat the greenhouse. A meaningful result came out during the first competition. The graph shows that the profit margin of the 6 teams. Sonoma, an AI team made up of Microsoft employees, made more profit than a human expert. It did not make more profit just one. The profit of the AI team throughout the competition were higher than those of human operating team. The machine has won the man. After the competition, Dr. Seo Hyung-won interviewed the team leader of the winning team. He said something meaningful. I thought it might not be the best way to come out in textbook or so grow them that farmers take for granted. In other words, farming, which we've taken for granted, may not be the best way. Dr. Seoul asked him why he thought so, and he said the AI strategy involved a number of choices that humans would not have made. The machine made a new choice based on our data, a method that experienced human would never have chosen. This is Dr. Silke who created this competition. Dr. Silke said, this is still a lot of work left to be done, such as developing various sensors to create a fully automated greenhouse. But through this competition, we have identified the possibility of AI. She also confirmed that AI can farming better than humans. She said, so the first competition ended successfully, and last year, the second competition started. Let's see a video clip of the second competition.
We were so excited to see that artificial intelligence can actually outperform a human control group in our last autonomous greenhouse competition. And we're really excited to see what the teams can show us the potential AI is in this upcoming competition. This is very important because we need to do everything we can to drive the productivity of agriculture around the world. And greenhouses, indoor farming represents a very important solution for all of us to diversify how we produce our food, to have more certainty around crop yields when we're having uncertain weather patterns, things like water stress. So we're very excited to see what this team can do. In this competition, we are going to be checking for taste as well. We're going to be evaluating taste as well. So here goes. It's good. I think we can do better with AI. Wageningen University, based here in the Netherlands, has shown tremendous leadership driving this project. We're so grateful to be working with Wageningen. I hope that it spreads more throughout the European Union, first of all, because that's the home market of the Netherlands. We'd love to see as much attention as possible to think about how these types of greenhouse and indoor farming solutions can spread more throughout the European Union, learning from Wageningen here in the home market, but certainly also around the world. I think the idea here is that once we prove that the technology can make a major impact in a new area, it triggers all kinds of new ideas. We want entrepreneurs, innovators, students from around the world to learn from what we're doing here and think about how they can apply these technologies to build a business or in their own communities or even in their own family greenhouse. It's up to them.
My country participated in the second competition. It is a multinational team consisting of 7 companies and 3 universities. The team's name is Digilog. Digilog is a combination of digital and analog, which means the high technology, which convergence of digital technology and analog emotion. The second competition is a competition for growing cherry tomato, not cucumber. The team that produces the highest productivity wins this competition by using the given resources as efficiently as possible. That is, the goal is to maximize production efficiency in a given space and condition. The team that grows tomatoes by hydroponic cultivation wins the most profit. "21 teams participated in the second competition, which started last year. 5 teams will be selected through the pre-selection round. The pre-selection round was a 24-hour simulation of growing crops in the greenhouse last fall. They said that was hackathon. They cultivate on a farm in a virtual space, and they compare the result. Result of the pre-selection 24 hours hackathon. The fifth class is the All Tomatoes team, which consists of researchers that Global Glasses Greenhouse Company and the researchers from Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands. The fourth class is the All Tomatoes team, which is a team of researchers from Delphi and Agroenergy, an agricultural consulting company in the Netherlands. And the third class is IUA, CAAS. CAAS stands for Chinese Academy of Agricultural Science. The second class is the Digilog team in Korea. The first class is the AICU team, led by Chinese PhDs in the Netherlands NXP Semiconductor and Wageningen University. I checked the detailed score.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the winning ceremony. And everybody is very excited. Whatever happens next, I think it was amazing 2 days. I saw you all working really hard. People until late in the night. I saw you really sweating on your coats, but I also saw a lot of interaction. So that's really good to see. I'm really happy with that. The green column is the final point. You can have a look also later. We just keep it on the screen.
Oops. There are 3 evaluation factors: team composition, and AI strategy, and hackathon result. The second class Korea team has a low total score than the first class team, but the AI strategy score is higher than the first class team. I emphasize this point. The 5 teams that passed the pre-selection round installed sensors in the greenhouse last December and are growing tomatoes until June this year. This picture shows a sensor installed in a greenhouse last December. We can see that the greenhouse outside is covered by a tent. The tent makes it impossible for the other team to see where and how to install a sensor. The team's strategy is to install camera that measure crop growth from what height to what angle. After the sensor is installed, remove all the tent. These colleagues are members of the Digilog team, my country. There are 14 people in total, and this is the step of my division. This guy is a step of my division. I'm showing you this picture to let you know that my division is participating in this competition. Let's see a video of introducing another team, two teams. Okay.
Agro-energy en Delphi vormen samen het team de Cooperators.
Wait a sec. The team name is interesting. The name of the team called the Co-operator team was made by combining the crop and operator. Let's listen to the team introduction.
De Cooperators is het team dat deelneemt aan de Autonomous Greenhouse Challenge. We hebben een team samengesteld van data scientists, teeltexperts en energiemanagers om samen te werken aan de oplossing voor een autonome kas. Hoe kunnen we telen op afstand, ook als de teeltkennis schaars is? We hebben immers allemaal behoefte aan vers groente, vers fruit, tomaten, komkommers, paprika's. Je houdt er niet van. Maar op veel plekken is die kennis niet beschikbaar. En daarom willen we modellen ontwikkelen waardoor we autonoom telen steeds dichterbij brengen.
Om een teelt autonoom aan te kunnen sturen is er veel data nodig. Aan de ene kant van het kasklimaat, aan de andere kant van de gewasontwikkeling. Data van het kasklimaat is er op dit moment voldoende. Elke 5 minuten wordt het kasklimaat gemeten. Data van de gewasontwikkeling daarentegen is er veel te weinig. Er wordt maximaal 1 keer per week op een ongestructureerde manier de gewasontwikkeling gemeten. Zonder deze data is het heel lastig om een teelt volledig autonoom aan te gaan sturen. Toch gaan wij dat deze challenge doen. We zullen onze expertise op het gebied van teelt en energie gebruiken om de kunstmatige intelligentie in de goede richting te wijzen. Daarnaast zullen we tijdens de challenge sensoren gebruiken om de plantontwikkeling constant te meten.
Het team van de Cooperators is een hecht team. We werken samen met data scientists, dat zijn mensen die slimme rekenmodellen ontwikkelen, teeltexperts die alles weten van het telen van komkommers en energiemanagers die de energiekant goed kennen. En samen werken we aan een rekenmodel dat autonoom telen realiteit maakt.
We zijn hier bij Delphi in Blijswijk. Achter mij zien jullie de Cooperators cockpit. Hier houden we wekelijkse overleggen en zal er 4 keer tijdens de challenge een bijeenkomst gehouden worden waarin wij de voortgang van het autonoom telen laten zien en ook de kansen laten zien die het systeem biedt. Hiervoor zullen telers en andere mensen die geïnteresseerd zijn uitgenodigd worden.
Wij hebben enorm veel zin in deze challenge en wij denken dat we echt een goede kans maken om daadwerkelijk te winnen.
Thank you. Let's see a video, one more video introducing another team.
The world is changing fast and we are facing major challenges, like the increasing of the world population. By 2050, we'll have to feed an extra of 2 billion people. That's why the automators joined forces to participate in the Autonomous Greenhouse Challenge. With this year's challenge, remotely produce a cherry tomato crop within 6 months inside a greenhouse. Let me introduce to you the team.
Okay, the name of this team is All Tomatoes, and it seems to be made by combining automation and the tomatoes. Let's listen to the team introduction.
In this challenge, 30 MHz and Delphi are very complementary to each other. Delphi delivers the crop knowledge that is needed to develop these systems, where 30 MHz delivers the infrastructure and engineering skills to develop the models which run the autonomous greenhouse. We grow tomatoes remotely by getting data from the crop and its environment and using this data to create models to simulate the growth of the tomato plants.
I think it's important to digitize the management of crop cultivation because there's an increasing demand for food and flower production and less people to grow it.
Yeah. The competition started last December and ended a week later on the 29th this month. On the 6th of the next month, the winner will be announced by revealing the profit from cherry tomato sales. Yeah. Have you ever heard of age tech? This is one of the industries that global ICT companies are paying most attention to. It is a combination of agriculture and technology. It means applying advanced technologies such as AI and IoT, big data, machine learning, drones, and robots to the entire process from sowing to harvesting of agricultural products. EdTech's market is led by US companies such as Google, Microsoft, and Chinese companies such as Alibaba, Tencent, etc. In the past, when talking about agricultural competitiveness, it was important to know what facilities they had, what skills they had, and what equipment they need. But now it is different. What AI algorithms they used and how much big data they have is a measurement of competitiveness. I'm sure you have a lot of work opportunities to do in agriculture because your major is on electronics at engineering college, right? Let me explain an interesting example for engineering college. Everyone likes flowers. By the way, if you buy flowers at market and leave them at home, the flowers don't bloom all at once, and the flowers don't lose all at once. Some flowers bloom first and then wither first, and others begin to bloom then. The reason is that flowers have different maturities. So an engineer came up with this idea. Don't we think we can get a higher price if we collect flowers with the same maturities and pick them up and sell them? An engineer selected 8 indicators to determine the maturities of flowers and automatically measure them with a CCD camera. Stem thickness, stem length, stem curvature, flowers head size, color, flowers head angle, like this. This is based on an analysis by agricultural scholars. In other words, if the flowers are the same size and the thickness of the stem are the same, then the flowers bloom at the same time. This is the result of the classification of loss by the 8 indicators mentioned above. As you can see, the flowers are the same size and stem thickness are the same. Of course, these classified flowers will bloom at the same time. If we put AI on other technologies in the agricultural sector, we can significantly change in the existing farming paradigm. Do you know Simon Peres? He served as a prime minister and the president of Israel and died in 2016 at the age of 92. He said, 95% of agriculture is science and technology, and just 5% is labor. I think he was absolutely right. Nowadays, advanced technology is used a lot in the agricultural sector. It is because the agricultural population is decreasing and aging. Without the help of science and technology, we cannot produce the same output as we have now. The new technologies you are studying at your college, such as AI, big data, and ICT, will add new value to agricultural sectors. I think the challenge of young engineers like you will bring innovation in agriculture. Do you know Jim Rogers? He is one of the top 3 investors in the world. He came to Korea a few years ago and gave a special lecture in Seoul National University and said that if I were you, I would go out and learn how to drive a tractor. He always says that the future of Korean economy depends on agriculture and that Korea will become the most powerful country in the world if South Korea and North Korea are reunified.
As you mentioned,
let's listen to him.
Currently, as you mentioned, currently the young generation would like to work in the financial sector.
Yes.
And become investor like you. But unfortunately, nobody wants to work in agricultural sector.
I know.
What would you advise to the Korean young generation?
Well, first of all, agriculture has been a terrible business, and that's why they don't want to go into it. They see stockbrokers driving Lamborghinis and farmers struggling and working hard all day. When that changes, when the farmers start driving Lamborghinis and the stockbrokers start driving taxis, then they will understand, aha, the world has changed and the money is now in agriculture. You cannot tell people they must go to work in agriculture. It will not work. People who love agriculture will go there and make huge fortunes eventually. Now, I cannot tell 22-year-old kids, you're going to get rich in agriculture because they don't want to go into ag. But the ones that do want to go into agriculture should go into agriculture. You can tell them, I can tell them that it's going to be extremely profitable in the next 10, 20 years. Then maybe some of them will go. But eventually, as you see the farmers getting rich, then young people will go into agriculture. When I went to Wall Street, nobody wanted to go to Wall Street. It was a backwater. That changed, and everybody wants to go to Wall Street now. That will change for agriculture too.
I believe what he says, so let's listen to him one more, please.
As you mentioned, currently the young generation would like to work in the financial sector.
Yes.
And become investor like you. But unfortunately, nobody wants to work in agricultural sector.
I know.
What would you advise to the Korean young generation?
Well, first of all, agriculture has been a terrible business, and that's why they don't want to go into it. They see stockbrokers driving Lamborghinis and farmers struggling and working hard all day. When that changes, when the farmers start driving Lamborghinis and the stockbrokers start driving taxis, then they will understand, aha, the world has changed and the money is now in agriculture. You cannot tell people they must go to work in agriculture. It will not work. People who love agriculture will go there and make huge fortunes eventually. Now, I cannot tell 22-year-old kids, you're going to get rich
in agriculture because they don't want to go into ag. But the ones that do want to go into agriculture should go into agriculture. You can tell them, I can tell them that it's going to be extremely profitable in the next 10, 20 years. Then maybe some of them will go. But eventually, as you see the farmers getting rich, then young people will go into agriculture. When I went to Wall Street, nobody wanted to go to Wall Street. It was a backwater. That changed, and everybody wants to go to Wall Street now. That will change for agriculture too.
I believe what he says. To be, as Jim Rogers says, absolutely lead the power of people who study engineering, like you. I hope you will also be interested in agriculture or design your future. Those of you who are studying various skills at engineering colleges, why don't you try out competition like an autonomous greenhouse challenge? Through this competition, I think you can improve your skills and lead the development of Korean agriculture. If Professor Jung-Yong Che lead like this competition at the Jeonbuk National University, I promise to do my best to help. I promise. As the last session, region for seminar. As I told you, a few months ago, I was asked to do this seminar by Professor Jung-Yong Che. And then I thought about it for a couple of months. It was thinking about what I should introduce to you who are engineering students and at the same time make you interested in agriculture. As a result of the concern, I introduced you to the Autonomous Greenhouse International Challenge today. I hope the introduction of the competition was helpful to you. As I said before, I'm doing research on smart farm at the RDA, Rural Development Administration, since it is an office where agriculture is studied. You might think that only people who graduated from agricultural college will be there, but it is not at all. The table you are looking is a step of the division of smart farm development I work for. As you can see, there are more graduated from engineering colleges, such as electronics and computer engineering, than from agricultural colleges. In other words, I would like to introduce the RDA to your future job after graduation. The real purpose of today's seminar is to introduce you to engineering students that there are very varieties of areas in agriculture that you may be interested in. 얘기는 좀 한글로 해도 될 것 같습니다. Let me introduce some information by Korean. 한국에서 농촌진흥청은 공무원인데요. 한국에서는 아직 외국인들이 공무원 되는 것을 쉽게 허락하지 않고 있습니다. 그래서 농촌진흥청 연구원은 100% 한국인이라고 생각을 하셔도 되고요. 그래서 지금 여러분들이 농촌진흥청 연구원, 공무원인 농촌진흥청 연구원에 좀 도전해보라는 것을 그런 기회를 드리기 위해서 또는 도전해보라고 좀 알려드리기 위해서 이 세미나를 제가 하게 되었고요. 여기에 있는 것처럼 저희 과에 있는 직원들의 전공은 농대를 나온 사람들보다도 공대나 자연대를 나온 사람들이 더 많습니다. 그래서 농촌진흥청에서 농업을 연구한다고 해서 모두 다 농대를 졸업했을 것이라고는 생각하시면 안 됩니다. 아까도 말씀드렸지만 농대가 아닌 다른 대학을 나온 사람들이 훨씬 더 많습니다. As I said before, I'm doing research on smart farm at the RDA. Since it is an office where work is studied, you might think that only people who graduated from agricultural college will be there, but it is not at all. 거듭 말씀드리지만 농대를 졸업하지 않으신 분들이 이과에 훨씬 더 많습니다. Agriculture is not simple industry that produces food. That is the future image of agriculture in Korea, which I am expecting integration. On the basis of IT, BT, ICT, and science, smart farm technology will create the rural landscape with culture and art, data generation, cloud computing, and so on. Several technologies will be merged, and all the components will be connected to achieve sustainable growth of agriculture and the dream society. I hope today's seminar was some helpful to you. And also, I would like to see all of you who becomes new junior researchers at the RDA. Please select the RDA for your future job. Thank you very much for your deep attention. Do you have any questions before I finish the seminar?